Time to put 5 on it. Iggy says Steph's the best point guard of all time. Where does he rank among the greatest guards ever? Let's put 5 on it. Here they are, the 5 greatest guards of all time. We're going to go 1 to 5 because number 1 is the greatest player in any sport who ever lived, Michael Jordan. You can try to argue against MJ, but you will lose the argument on the merits. He is the greatest basketball player of all time. He was way, way better than everyone else in his day. The distance between him and the next best guy was a lot in terms of accomplishment, talent, skill, the whole thing. Okay, number 2, LeBron James. That's right. I got him as a guard. He's a small forward. He's a forward, whatever, in positionless basketball. But guess what? Most of his career, really, when you think about his job description, he's a point guard. He ran the offense. And by the way, and it's like, draft Jordan, play him at center. Play LeBron. What's the answer? Who's the greatest point guard? Did LeBron play point guard? Yeah, so he's the greatest point guard. Number 3, Kobe Bryant. Remember, we're talking guards. Kobe was not quite MJ, but in a world where everyone wanted to be like Mike, he basically achieved it. He was basically Michael Jordan, not quite, but just about. And by the way, that's plenty good enough to be better than just about everyone else who ever lived. At 4, Magic Johnson. Now, Magic, it's interesting about him. He had one of the most incredible rookie seasons ever when you count the finals. But throughout a lot of his early prime, Bird was considered, I think, correctly the better player. But Magic kept going. And in a way, he kept getting better. And he had another 5 or 6 years, when Bird was already in decline because of the back and everything, where Magic, right before Jordan hit his prime, was the best player in basketball. He just kept getting better. Not to mention the 5 championships. And now we have Steph Curry. I think he rounds out the top 5 greatest guards of all time. I think he, in his day, is greater than Jerry West or Oscar Robertson in their day. I think he is greater than Isaiah Thomas or any of his contemporaries at guard in his day now, Dwayne Wade included. I think that he's the 5th greatest guard of all time. All right, guys, your reactions. Legs, what do you think? Oh, can't hear Legs.
Why? When I heard we were putting this list together, I'm saying, okay, this will be interesting. I think you nailed the names. Listen, LeBron James as a guard, that's going to be something that people are going to debate you on. For me, he has always been a point guard. That's the way he plays. That's the definition of how a point guard plays. He's the primary ball handler and the initiator, and what percentage of possessions in the course of his career. It's his ball, his show, his game. He's the guy that decides when everybody else gets it, in addition to getting his 30 every night. So, yeah, I put him as a point guard, and those are the 2 greatest players of all time at the top of that list. So whatever you want to call LeBron, we're going to call him a guard for this argument. You got those 2 right. And then it gets interesting. I think those are the right 3 guys. And Kobe, I think, from an overall skill standpoint, would be the guy when you throw in his defense and the physicality of his game and the way that he could take over. I'm okay with him being there. Magic Johnson and Steph Curry, that's a great debate because I think Steph Curry is the most highly skilled in terms of dribble, pass, shoot in one body in the history of this league. So sure. He deserves being a top 5 4-time champion now. Magic, obviously the ultimate winner. I think those 3 names, Kobe, Magic, Steph, go ahead. Have at that debate. But I think the bottom line, the most important thing is those top 2 are where they should be because I also view LeBron James as a guard.
I mean, look, I'm going to just say at the other side, I said to Max in the break, I think LeBron James is a small forward. I know he plays like a point guard. He's always been a forward. A couple of years ago, I got put as a point guard on the ballot to get him onto different things. But look, to me, if you're going to have him on the list, no question, those are the top 2 guys. I would have Magic 3rd. You look at his, like you said, Legs, his track record of winning, getting to the finals 9 times in 12 years, truly incredible. I think I might have Steph ahead of Kobe, though. When you look at Steph's bodies of work, when you look at his impact on the sport, to your point, Legs, about his combination of skills and the way he's completely revolutionized the sport, and you look at the fact that what he's done with that team in terms of winning, and what Richard said earlier about the culture he's built there.
Kobe's got more finals wins and fewer finals losses.
He played
with
Shaquille O'Neal for.
Okay, but here's something important to me. I value peak a lot.
Yep.
Steph Curry at the end of the whole thing, this is the first time where you have an argument he might be the best player in basketball.
I'm
at
with
the end
Richard,
of the whole thing, right?
I'm with Richard earlier that the year when he hit 400 3-pointers, I would think
Wait a minute. LeBron was so much better than him. It was embarrassing when it came down to it. LeBron was twice as good as him when it counted most. No one in the world thought Steph was the best basketball player on earth at the end of those finals. No one. So, like, how can you argue it now? Kobe, on the other hand, Kobe spent years as a guy who people thought was the best player in the world. Go ahead, Legs.
Let me make one more point here because I truly believe this. Here's the thing. Steph Curry's not done. They're going to win more championships. I believe it. At least one more, if not more than that. These guys are still very much in their prime. I think Klay Thompson is a guy that really just battled to get back to respectability and at times being great. He's not great every night. He's going to get there. And when you now infuse this youth into the situation, when you look at a Kuminga, who I think is going to be an all-star in this league, when you throw in a Jordan Poole who emerged this year, when you throw in a Wiseman coming back into the mix,
Andrew Wiggins,
even a guy like Moses Moody, when you look at the youth combined with what they have and their style of play, and I know the West is going to be a lot better next year, I don't think they're done winning as Steph Curry being their best player. So let's revisit this in about 3 years. That list is going to look different.
Well, and that's more my point, too. I think Steph's a lot closer to Kobe than a lot of people would think. And he's, like you said, Tim, he's got time to run. That's the thing.
We're trying to hit a moving target still, and the target keeps moving up. I agree. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.